So guys, in only a couple of months, Amaranthe have reached an amazing success. How would you describe the journey?
It's been totally awesome. I mean, it's been quite a ride, and like you say, it's only been like, I think it's 11 months since the album came out. It's actually more or less a year. And we've done like 100 shows, and the album has been on the charts, and we have had like several millions of plays on Spotify. So naturally, it's very, very exciting, and it's also cool to see that it's continuing today. I mean, continuing to grow. So yeah, it's been quite the ride so far, I have to say.
How would you describe the winning concept?
The winning concept is probably a bit of luck, a bit of good-looking guys, and a bit of great music, I think. And then you... and some beers involved in the process as well. No, I don't really know. I think that we came up with something fresh, and the people wanted to have something that sounded different from all the other stuff that was out there. And we're inspired by all these other bands that are out there. So we put them in the blender and made this. So, and I think that we just released this thing in the right time, with the right timing.
Was there a specific moment when you realized that this is going to be something big?
I think so. There was definitely a defining moment when we put up the two first songs that we had made, and that was quite a while ago. It was in the summer of 2009, I think.
Yeah, that's when I bought my first Porsche, and then I realized that this might work.
Exactly. That Porsche was pretty nice. No, but it was quite exciting. I mean, from the day before, we did have a page before. We had one song up for maybe half a year that everybody ignored. That was in kind of a different style. And then we put up Leave Everything Behind, an act of desperation, and all of a sudden there was like this huge explosion of attention from media and from record labels, and I think we had like 5 different record contracts offers during that day. So I mean, that's when we realized that this might actually be something worth going for, because before that it was just like an idea to have a project, but by that time it had like overnight actually became a real band. So I think that was a defining moment for us.
You guys used the internet to put up the tracks on MySpace at first, where you got a huge fan base. How do you see the internet as a commercial tool versus the illegal downloads right now?
I mean, for us, the internet has been like 100% of everything that we've done so far, because I mean, even if we spend a lot of money on a video, for example, it's on the internet. It's where it's being showed. I mean, it's been on MTV in Greece and Italy and places like that. But I mean, with MySpace before was the thing that got us discovered, and after that it's been Facebook that has been keeping it running, and Spotify, and YouTube as well, with several millions of views on YouTube also. So
yeah, and it's always like this with internet, like downloading and stuff like that. If you're a new band, you don't have the proper channels to distribute your music in. If someone finds you and it's easy to get it, then it's the best promotion tool ever. But then when you start touring and you need to pay back the money that it cost you to actually record the stuff, then downloading kind of sucks. So it's a thin line there. Like Olof said, that thanks to the internet we are where we are, and also thanks to the internet we can continue growing in a rapid speed. So
yeah, it's definitely a dualistic thing, but I think for us, I mean, if you take Metallica or Britney Spears or something, it's definitely a problem for them, because they are actually losing money from it. But I checked it out on the different pirate sites and stuff like that, and there isn't a whole lot of legal downloading of our music, because it is available on Spotify and it is available on YouTube, and that's where people go to listen to it for free. And they aren't really downloading it, and somehow we get promotion from that. I mean, we don't get any money from the clicks on YouTube, but if we have 2.2 million views on the Hunger video, which we have now, it's incredible promotion, because it shows to show bookers and promoters that we're something hot going on right now. So we aren't really losing anything from it right now, but it sucks with the illegal downloading in general for other bands.
One of the things that makes Amaranthe special is that you have 3 vocalists. What are the advantages of this?
That you can go grab a beer when the other one is singing. No,
that was the basic idea.
That was the basic idea. No, yeah, no, it's really good, because all of a sudden you have a wider spectra to work on when you compose the music.
Exactly.
Because if you only have one vocalist, you only have one range that you can write the music in. Now, where my range ends, Elise follows, and in the bottom we have Andy for emotional stuff and angry parts and something to like make it more interesting. So it's a really funny thing to experiment with, and from the start when we did our first live show, it was kind of chaotic because we didn't know. All of us three are former, frontmen, and everyone wanted to stand in the center, or not that I need to be seen. It's much more that this is my spot because I'm used to stand there, and that was quite a thing in the beginning. But now after all these shows, we know how to move around, and it's really fun to do something that's really haven't been done before.
Exactly, that's a big part of it as well. And I think that, the main thing is definitely for us, because a lot of people have been talking about this as either an obvious advantage or, a way to gain attention, like a gimmick, for example. And, for us, it's never been like that. The obvious advantage is from the composing aspect. Yeah. Because you never get bored as a composer, because you can always use these different colorings. And all of a sudden, writing the music for another of my bands, for example, become like, painting with just one color, for example, painting in black and white. So it's a very exciting thing, actually.
I have a question from Sergio from the Facebook page. How do you choose who sings which part in a track?
That's actually a really good question. Here's the answer. The one that's the one that consumed most amount of alcohol that day at the recording have to sing that part. No, it's actually sometimes we compose stuff out from the singer, like this part. Now we're gonna have a part for me or for Elise or for Andy, and then we riff around that, and Olof knows the keys where we sing, so he puts them there. Otherwise, we just usually we do like this when it's me and Olof that writes the music. If we work on a song, I sing all of the parts, and then we just move stuff around and see what fits best. Like if Elise starts, or I start, or Andy starts. So it's a bit of a puzzle, and what decides it is actually what sounds best in the end.
So your first album, named Amaranth, received huge success, and you won awards as Best Breakthrough Artist at Swedish radiostation Bandit. How much pressure does this create for the upcoming albums, upcoming tracks as well?
None at all, I would say, because we started out with this composing this music because we loved it and because it was something new and because we wanted to work together professionally as well. And that's exactly what we're continuing to do. And we've been composing for the new album. We haven't really been talking about this a lot in interviews before, but for the last 2.5 months or something like that, and it's been going extremely quick. And I can say that in the same amount of time that we have been writing these songs, we did like the 2 very first sketches of the songs. So I think it's like 8 songs that are more or less done already, and we can't really say any future tentative release date or anything like that. But we can say that it's really exciting, and we're loving what we're hearing so far. It's everything that we did with the first album plus 20%.
22 to be exact.
Sound-wise, what does the second album sound like already compared to the first one?
It's a very natural progression from what we did before, and we did have some catchy kind of even popish stuff going on in the first album. We have that stuff now as well, but it's more extreme, and we have some really brutal death metal parts on the first album as well. We have that now as well, but it's also a lot more extreme. And then on the third hand, we have like some totally new stuff that we didn't dare to try on the first album. Because we were pissing off a lot of people, but I was actually expecting more controversy on this first album, because we mix a lot of different things, and that tend to, annoy people.
But there was also a thing with the first album was that we had all these labels that were after us that wanted to hear new songs, so we needed to impress the label on each and every new song we did had to be better than the other one, and we found a concept in the first songs So we had a lot of ideas that we wanted to do like this, but we didn't really dare to do that because we wanted to give, you know, that thing that we created. And now on the second album, we feel a bit more safer to, you know, do something else, and that's really exciting to work
exactly.
like that.
And I think you know the huge difference compared to when we were writing and recording the first album is that we had like I think we did like 2 or 3 shows before we recorded the album, and when we wrote most of the songs, we didn't really have any idea where it would lead. And today it's 100 shows later, and arena shows in Japan and Breakthrough of the Year and all that kind of stuff. You know, it leaves a really big impression on you, and it really inspires you in a way that I can't really describe. So, I mean, I think that's, you know, the real game changer for us. Now we are writing music that we know is going to be heard by hundreds of thousands, potentially millions, you know, because of the internet, and there's going to be a whole different push for this album, marketing-wise and stuff like that as well. So, it's very exciting for us, absolutely.
The scene is changing a lot right now. We have rock and roll and metal bands competing in the Swedish Eurovision. What do you think about that? Is it good that the music gets that kind of exposure? And could you ever dream about doing it yourself, competing for Sweden in Eurovision?
I would say that I think it's awesome. I mean, we're really, really good friends with Dead by April, for example, and I think it's really, really cool that they go out there and represent like the whole growl aspect, for example. Has never been done in the context of Eurovision in any country before. So of course that's exciting as a, you know, metal musician yourself, and also our friends, you know, from Heat and Dynasty and stuff like that have done the same thing. For me, it's totally fine, totally awesome. We are a little bit reluctant to do it ourselves. I mean, we'll see if we feel like it when we you know, get the question. We might do it, but then again, there are some potential risks with doing it as well, and I won't really delve further into it. But it's, I mean, we're definitely open to trying new things, and there's already been a few metal bands that had done it, so we don't need to do it, if you know what I mean. It would probably be more fun if Dead by April hadn't done it before.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but you can also see on like bands like Lordi, for example, they were doing their build-up in Europe. They was touring, they toured, and they started to build up a name for themselves. Then they won the whole the whole thing, and became big overnight. Then they toured their asses off, gained a lot of money, and next year was Eurovision. No one cared about them anymore. So it's always a risk with it. It's easy money and easy fame and success, but usually it's just a short period of time. So I think that to do something like that, you should be in that competition when you can stand on your own legs.
There was an announcement actually yesterday from Roadrunner that they're going to close all their business in Europe.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this right now? It's very new, but what do you think right now?
Yeah, it's totally shocking. I've been following the news, you know, both on Facebook. I saw that Clown from Slipknot made an update about it, which created a lot of buzz as well. And we had a lot of dealings with. I'm sure that Roadrunner doesn't mind that we're talking about it. We were talking to Ces, the CEO, about doing something, you know, with this album before we signed to Universal and Spine Farm and stuff like that. And it's been a part of my life, you know, since I was a kid, you know, especially, you know, for me who listened to a lot of death metal, you know, like Cannibal Corpse and D-Side and Morbid Angel and all those bands, and also later as well, you know, with Slipknot and everything, and Opeth today and stuff like that. And it's really shocking to see where the business is going in general, because it's an indication of how blind the major labels can be, and the major labels are controlling the whole market. So I think that we're really, really fortunate to be on a label like Universal.
It's not a major label.
Is it not? Well, so no, I mean, they've been really amazing to us so far, and they seem to, you know, on a lot of different levels, seem to appreciate heavy music and understand the potential of heavy music. And for Warner to have like a gold mine like Roadrunner is artistically, and possibly, you know, sales-wise as well. I mean, I imagine that Slipknot sells a shitload of albums basically, and to see that the CEO actually stepped down, says, after, what is it, 25 years or even more, maybe 30 years, it's sad and it's shocking, and it's you know, a really bad sign of where the industry is going as a whole, I would say.
I totally concur.
Good word.
If you were to write a personal ad in the newspaper about meeting someone, what would it include?
Poor rock star search for a rich woman with a Lamborghini.
I would say geeky guy seeks a girl with a lot of patience and a lot of books and old stones. And a castle or two.
Fuck, that's hard. It's a really good question, though.
I think it was a pretty good one, though, actually, that you did.
I still think that I might have the chance to actually meet someone without an ad. But other than that, I'm going on tour. Can you watch my cats? Call me and the number. I don't know.
I got a question from Oscar from your Facebook page. What are your influences? What are your favorite bands?
Hi, Oscar. My favorite bands, I think we have quite different tastes, but I mean, I'm definitely a big melodic death metal fan, you know, as you can probably obviously tell from the music. I stole a lot of riffs from Soilwork, so I really like them. Thank you for my supermodel girlfriend and my big house. And I really like Scar Symmetry, you know, and In Flames, like both the old stuff and some of the new as well. Dark Tranquility and that kind of stuff, but a lot of different things, you know, everything from progressive to heavy metal, you know, old bands like Metallica and Iron Maiden and power metal as well, so I'm quite diverse. But
what was the question?
What are your favorite bands or your influences?
Okay, hi Oscar. Biggest influence on me, like singing wise, have always been like Michael Kiske and Joey Tempest, and like band wise, I'm one of these guys. I like the 80 era, like Dokken in Europe and Maiden, the first Metallica that came out and stuff like that. To be honest, I don't listen to music anymore. So if anyone asks me anything about music made after '96, I have no shit. I have no idea. So, but the old heroes.
A lot of people are wondering when you're going to come to their town and to their country and play. What can you tell them?
Well, first of all, there's a specific section on our Facebook page where you can always keep up to date with you know, all the latest shows and tours and stuff that we have booked. It's called Tour Dates. It's pretty simple actually, and it's there's
Apparently not, but okay.
but there's a tour dates section on the Amaranthe.se page as well. And also, it's important to point out that we really want to come and play at as many places as humanly possible. You know, sometimes people get insulted, you know, like, why don't you come and play in Chile? Why do you hate Chile so much? Because you're not coming to play in Chile, and I really love Chile. It's really good.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but and the we would love to come and play in Chile, for example, absolutely. But we need to have the offer from the promoter, or we need to schedule the show. You know, have the possibility somehow. We have to see that there's. I mean, on the next album, we're gonna do a lot of shows ourselves, so then we are much more free to book it out also. But you know, in general, I think that if people want to see us next year, they will get the opportunity, no matter where they live, as long as they live on planet Earth and not Uranus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing this summer?
No, we're gonna do a lot of shows. I think we have like 20 or 30 shows booked this summer. We're doing Wacken. We're doing Falu Rockstad. We're doing Metalscene. We're actually doing a lot of stuff up in Sweden. Skellefteå-festivalen. No, we play in Finland. We play in Czech Republic, Germany, all around, and we're going to Atlanta playing Prog Power. That's the last thing we're gonna do before we enter the studio. And but we're gonna have this big show, our own show in our hometown, Gothenburg, on Liseberg, on the big stage there, and that is gonna be hopefully a really kick-ass show, because like it fits 15,000 people, and if there's 5,000 there, I'm more than glad. If there's 100 there, I'm more than glad. It's just that it's the city that actually arranged the gig, and it's, you know, like some kind of proof that when the city calls you to, can you play at our venue, then you do like this on yourself.
But and it's also gonna, you know, that and the United States is gonna close out, you know, the shows for the album. So it's probably the best way we could end this album circle, and it's just that it's already gone this far is beyond my, you know, expectations and imagination.
It's actually really sick when you think about it. 1 year ago, no one knew about us, and now we, you know, traveled to Japan 2 times last year, and doing all this crazy shit, and the tour that's been going on for over when we ended, it's been 1.5 years, like Metallica on the Black Album. Not that many shows. No, we just continue to play, and it's we haven't seen any kind of thing that you know, like there's less phone calls coming in for shows to be booked. It's more the opposite, actually.
Exactly, and I mean stuff like we played yesterday in this really small Swedish the town of Fagersta, yeah, exactly. And it was like it was completely sold out, completely packed in the middle of absolutely nowhere in a city that I faintly don't know the name. And same thing here in Jönköping. It's a bigger city, but still it's sold out here as well. And we had no idea what to expect for these 2 shows. So I mean, of course, it's amazing to play in Tokyo, but it's so far away. It's so surreal. It's, you know, it's hard to grasp upon. And you know, the last time I was here in Jönköping, we were playing on this actual stage that we were sitting on right here.
Yeah, exactly. We played here on this stage,
and that was with Jake's other band Dreamland. I was just helping out, and you know, just a few years later, we are selling out these places, and it kind of shows you that there's so much potential to grow. You know, so yeah, it's exciting, definitely.
It's a strife, but a shimmer in your eyes just makes me know that you and I